How's it going, everybody? Happy Sunday. If I got a watch on here, I had my setting. I forgot to take it down from when I was shooting some shorts, and I straightened it out, but it didn't seem to work. So let me try something again here. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure what the hell. Looks like it's just staying in that format. I don't know why. Let me check and make sure it's just not me. Okay, it's fine. It was me. My YouTube kept that format even though I corrected it. Yeah, I don't know why. Thank you, YouTube. Anyways, happy Sunday to everybody. Thank you for stopping by. Uh, like I said, I was shooting a few shorts, so uh, I want to. I usually like to try to get a few of them in my queue so that I don't have to mess with it for a few days. Yeah, it's no, I don't know what it is, Chris, because like I said, on my YouTube, I was still in that format. I was still in the 10 by 9. What is it, 10 by 9? Yeah, no, it's not 10 by 9. It's 10 by something. I can't remember if it's 10 by 16 or whatever, but it's in that um, 1080 by 1920 format. So for some reason, my YouTube didn't switch over, even though I had switched over on OBS. So I thought I was still in that little screen, but I knew what was going on. Anyways, you see who's in chat. Hey, Megatron. I knew you was in here earlier because I already seen you. Oh, good to see you, Chris. See Chris is in here. Pierre. Hi, Pierre. How you doing? It's Pierre and Diamex Retro Gamer. I told people they were two different people. Savitor's in here. How's it going, Savitor? Junebug stopped in. Hey, Junebug, good to see you. Yeah, it just seems like you have to turn it back on and off to reset it for whatever reason. I guess it doesn't reset on its own. But I'm glad I caught that though, because I think the last time I did that, I went for a bit until I caught it. But I just happened to look over and it's like, oh, the hell, what's going on? Why am I in small frame? Hey, CZ, how you doing? Good to see you. All right. Anyways, like I said, we're going to do Atari night. If you were here last week, we did some champ games. We're going to go finish them up. I actually ended up getting a few more after that. So I've got quite a few champ games. I don't have them all. There's still a couple more. I wasn't sure if I was going to get, but I did decide that I was going to get this. I think it's Spider Arcade. I was going to get that one. I've got the demo right now because I downloaded the demos they had, even though I had most of the games, but it was because I was trying to get the Saxons. So I was like, yeah, I'll download them all, which gave me the Spider one as well. I don't know why it didn't give me some of the other ones, though. I could have probably downloaded them separate, but doesn't really matter. But the Saxon one was the one I was interested in because I've seen a couple people play it. I watched a video, I think it was yesterday, was Papa Pete was playing it, and he was actually doing pretty good on it. So, but that's something I've been interested in. Let's see. All right, let's go to the, let's see if anybody else walked in here. I don't think so. All right, let's go over to the game screen. All right, as you can see, the first game I got called up, this isn't Champ Games version of Burger Time. This is actually Burger Time. What I was going to do on a few of them was I was going to show the difference between the originals and what Champ Game has done. And it's hard to explain with Champ Games is I've seen remakes, redones over 20, 30 years, from the originals on in television. I've seen it on ColecoVision or whatever. I think why Atari impresses me more is because there's more being done with Atari than them other systems. And television had games that were already decent looking for the time. Some of them needed tweak because the development time on them wasn't so much, and rightfully so. Some ColecoVision games were the same way. But the drastic difference between Atari 30 odd years ago and the games Champ Games making now is incredible. I mean, I never in my wildest imagination thought any of this would be possible, what they're doing with the system. Like I said, I'm impressed what they do with the newer Intellivision games. I'm impressed what they do with the new ColecoVision games. But I am amazed by what Champ Game does with the Atari 2600 games. These games should not be on this system. It seems like it's just impossible. But somehow they achieve it. And kudos to them. And it wasn't like, back in the day we didn't have some games that were kind of cool on the 2600, but not like, what some of the homebrews are doing now, and especially with Champ Games. I mean, there's other homebrew guys that do a good job, but Champ Game is like on a whole different level. I think that's why you see a lot of Atari enthusiasts really singing praises about Champ Games. It's just because it's mind blowing what they're doing, and and I just want to show how mind blowing it is. So hey, how's it going, Jeff? Yeah, Pierre, that's a good point. Putting out that there's a special chip in there that they're using. It is like voodoo sometimes. Yeah, it's just like I said. It's not a knock on any of the other systems. It's just that it's not what I would have ever thought was going to happen with Atari games. But anyways, I figure the first one I'll show is the original version of Burger Time. This is, I think, what Mattel Electronics, I think, made this, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let's I gotta get the screen set up for it. Okay. Now, this game doesn't play bad. Controls are not the greatest, but they're not bad. But it's just the graphics. But at the time, I mean, they couldn't really do much. So, I mean, they just went ahead and made all the stuff the same color or whatever. It made it a little easier. But I mean, you can still tell what it is. It has the blueprint of Burger Time. It's just not the best looking version of Burger Time. Oh, I got caught. It's not really fast paced either. It's like the chef is taking a leisurely stroll through here. That was my fault for not throwing the pepper out. Could have avoided that. As you can see, the music wasn't the best either, but that was also something that was common with any Atari game, was the Atari sound chip. that's why you hear a difference. Like if you play in television and you play Coleco, the sound effects are way totally different than what the 2600 was capable of doing. He walks painfully slow. Actually, I tried to throw some pepper and I didn't. Try that again. Oh. Got to kind of aim it towards where you needed it to go. All right. Oh. Here, I was about to go away because I was all happy. There we go. Exactly. This breakfast is, oh crap. I guess I touched bottom of it. That's the other thing is I can't tell exactly. Like I'm thinking it's far enough on the ladder so I shouldn't have to worry. But anyways, this is the original Burger Time by Mattel Electronics. M Network. That's what I was trying to think of. My bad. I forgot that M Network was in television's brand that they brought stuff for the Atari over on. All right, and then this is Chaotic Grill, which I played last week, but I'll play it again. It's the champ game version of this. Now, as you can see, I'm moving quicker than hell. The controls are very responsive. Compared to any of the games I've played at Burger Time. To me, it's probably one of the better controlled ones. Oh shit. I panicked. Said just way smoother control, faster movement. Oh. Those sneaky bastards are trying to get me. There we go. it's not as good looking as the Intellivision, but I think it controls better than the Intellivision. And that's not to say the Intellivision one controls bad. I'm just saying, to me, it just feels more precise. Got nailed. I still think, like, if you want to look at overall graphics, gameplay, or what have you, I think ColecoVision is probably my top one, just because the ColecoVision is, oh shit, that was a bad idea. It is actually the size of the arcade version of it. So if I'm not mistaken, the television version is cut down width or whatever. Just, again, doesn't make it a bad game or anything like that. It's just and them overall reasons I like it better. But the thing with all that too is it's subjective, because it just depends on what system you grew up on playing it. If you grew up playing the Intellivision, you're going to think that's the better version because that's what you grew up on. Now, I don't know anybody that played the Atari 2600 version and thought that was better than the original, and thought that was better than the other systems. That might be a far stretch, but yeah, if you grew up on the ColecoVision, then you would think the ColecoVision was your, the best version of it. So that's why I said on them things like that, it's all subjective. It just depends on what you favored at that time. I grew up on the Atari 2600 and the ColecoVision. I didn't own an Intellivision. I have one now. I have an OG that was converted over to AV, but I told the story before, but I had bought it, and I had went to look at it in Intellivision at the local O'Neill's building in Akron, and they had 3 systems set up. They had the Odyssey 2, they had the Intellivision, they had the Atari 2600. I was going there to buy some Atari 2600 games, and I was looking at the Intellivision because I seen all the commercials and everything for it, and so I was like, oh well, I might as well give it a try while I was here. And I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure they had armor battle in the game for you to play, and I could not figure out how to play this damn thing. I couldn't understand the control, because you got to remember, because I grew up on the Atari, I had a joystick. So when you presented me with this disc, I was looking at this disc, I couldn't figure out how the hell use it. I was like, well, what does it do? Do you spin it around? Do you push on it? It got my little whatever, how old brain I was at the time, fried. I was like, I couldn't figure it out. So that was it. That was it for the Intellivision. I never had anything to do with it because of that. Just because I just couldn't figure out the control. Now at my age, now I know how the controller works, and it's better than what I had thought it was. But the only thing is I still don't like it because of the little buttons on the side when I'm using my and that's me, because my left hand is bummed up. It's not as good as my right hand. So when I'm using it, I'm using my right thumb on the pad, and I'm using my fingers to try, and I can't do it really good because them little buttons, it pisses me off. So I still the controller, though I can control it better than I could back when I was a kid, and I understand it better. I don't like the buttons at all on the side. I like the ColecoVision buttons because they were huge. They were made for gorilla paws. The buttons they had on there. But I got a OG Hugo controller, and I bought that. I forget what the thing's called. That plugs into your OG Intellivision, and you can hook other controllers up. And I bought OG Hugo's Intellivision controller and with the D-pad, and I like that a lot better. Though I know it's not as precise as the disc could be on certain games, because like I know people go on about Shark, which I can understand with that disc how Shark would be a lot better to control than the D-pad or whatever. But I just like that D-pad a little bit better because the buttons are easier and what have you. That's the only thing. That's the only thing with the Intellivision is just them kind of that little stuff. There is a few games for the Intellivision that I played that I like. I have the original 125 and I think some other ones on there. And so, yeah, it's just, it's not a diss towards Intellivision. It just I didn't grow up on it. I mean, it was a diss on the controller at the time when I didn't like it, but but yeah, I just didn't grow up on it. Now I've grown to learn a lot about it because I mostly if I'm not here, I'm mostly hanging out on Intellivision channels. That's where you'll see me at. I watch a lot of Intellivision channels because a lot of the people that I like and I like to watch play Intellivision. And there's some cool games that I haven't played yet that I would like to see, if I would enjoy them, and especially if I didn't have to use the control pad. So that's why, I hadn't got a Sprint because I don't want that controller. I don't really like, the original one. I don't know how much better this one is than the original, but like I said, I know I don't like them buttons on the side. So, that'd be a tough one to see, but, if I can use that OG Hugo controller, then that would be great. But yeah, I just like I said, I'm just not a fan. Not a fan of them buttons. And like I said, that's with my hand is not, this hand is very nimble and everything like it was. This one isn't. And it's hard for me to do them buttons on the Intellivision controller. It's painstaking to try to get them to do right. I can't push them good enough and what have you. And that's just because I don't have the strength in this hand that I do this one. It's just getting older and messed up. So yeah, Jeff plays the Chris. Jeff plays the Game Boy. Well, I think it's a Game Boy version of Burger Time, or it's not that. No, it's on the Switch. There's actually, I think there's a couple he plays. One was if I'm not mistaken, I think it used to be a phone game, Burger Time. So, well, yeah. See, that's the thing too. Is Pierre like? See, you think it controls better on the Intellivision? I think it controls better on the ColecoVision. But you're used to the Intellivision, so you operate it better than I do. I operate the ColecoVision controller better than most people do. Because that's the thing is I actually really like the ColecoVision controller. I don't like the knobs sometimes, but I can control it really good. And then some people can't. Some people can't stand it or whatever. But that's what I mean with controls. It's just like, to me, the Atari joystick is like one of the best controllers ever. And for certain games, this is great to have a joystick. A lot of people don't like that, so that's what I mean. Everything's subjective. It's like whatever system you grew up with and liked, or, and you can mostly relate to, that's your favorite way of doing it. But is it the best way? I mean, for you or for me, but I don't know for everybody else. I think that's why, like with these shows and that, well, you could see, but it's always best to try. Because it's like the Intellivision too which is a great point. I think shows like Pete, Papa Pete, Nat shows people like me that weren't really into the Intellivision that the Intellivision has great games. I wouldn't have known that until I started watching Pete. I'd have just, the television wasn't on my mind whatsoever until I started watching him. That's why I bought that OG one. It maybe I was watching a show and it made me interested to try it out and see how it was. But yeah, I mean, that's what's great about these retro channels is, if you weren't a fan of Atari, you can come here and see some games and go, hey, maybe I want to try that out. Or you go to Papa Pete or go to Dimex Retro Gamer or any of the other guys that do Intellivision, and you watch their stuff, and you might go, hey, you know what? Let me check out the Intellivision. Because like I said, especially with some of the home brews, they have stretched what the Intellivision had done at the time. Because you got to remember when the television came out, one of the selling points of it was not only how great the graphics was, but it was also how complex the games were, and compared to Atari. Atari, it was Atari. It only had, it was good at arcade games. That's what it was. Basic. Well, I don't know if it was basically made for that, but pretty much. But that's what it was. It was an arcade machine, and television wasn't arcade machine. It had a couple arcade games, but it was other stuff. It was their sports games, or you get into their AD&D and stuff like that. They had games that were a little more complex than what you could play on the Atari, and so it was more of I would say, a mature crowd at that time. It was like a stepping stone. If you liked the Atari 2600 and you were starting to get older and you wanted to try something a little different, there was the Intellivision. And then, of course, ColecoVision came out and it upended the game again and said, hey, not only can we do great graphics, but we can do complex games and, this and that. So, you had that. That's why, you look at it, Atari, Odyssey 2 had never had a chance. Odyssey 2 was basically a Pong machine that didn't have the capabilities of keeping up with these other systems. You had to have increments to move up and want to get another system. There had to be a reason why you would go, oh, hey, I have this Atari, but I'm going to buy this Intellivision. There was because, it was great on, if you ever remember the sports games, commercials, it was the selling point of Intellivision was, hey, look at our games. This actually looks like a guy on the field on a football game. There's multiple people on the team. There's not three guys running running together. There was a big difference between everything back then. That's what's so great about the systems at that time. That infancy was there was these little progressions that was moving the system along, and people were seeing what these video games could do. Because at first when Atari came out, it was combat and stuff like that. It wasn't anything earth shaking. Like Asteroids came out, but that wasn't amazing or anything. And we all know Pac-Man, but then as the system got older, it started getting better games than that. But like I said, if you wanted to move up into something a little bit more advanced, there was the Intellivision. If you wanted to go even advance over to Intellivision, you went to the ColecoVision. If you wanted something over to ColecoVision, you went to the NES. So there was these little progressions that came along. Yeah, that's what I said. That's what kills me, Pete. Is this hand is it's there's nerve damage in it, so it doesn't move as good. Sometimes it hurts because of the arthritis. Because I've got arthritis in my neck, I got arthritis in my back. I'm getting old and I'm a mess. I'm broke all over the place. But anyways, I just keep chugging along. But yeah, I mean, sometimes with controllers, and like I said, the Intellivision buttons are one of the hardest things I have to deal with right now. Is they're tough. But like I said, that OG Hugo controller helped me out on that because I can use that. The only thing is I know I'm missing the precision of that disc for certain games, but what are you going to do? But it's like, maybe one of these days, do I get a Sprint? Yeah, it's possible because like I said, there are games that are coming out that I'm interested in. Like I said, it's just the only thing that's tough is I just, I didn't grow up on the system, so the nostalgia is not there. But like I said, if I see a good game, I see a good game. My thing is you play a good game on no matter what it's on. If it's on system you didn't even own, if it's a cool, the Vectrix is a prime example. I never had a Vectrix, but there are games on the Vectrix I like. So I want to own them games. So yeah, you can get games for systems. Well, I do. One of my favorite things I keep telling everybody is I have Montezuma's Revenge on the Intellivision. Even though I don't have it yet, I have the ROM ready to download whenever I can. But I bought that because I thought it looked good. I watched Papa Pete play it, and it seems to control really well on the Intellivision. So I'm interested in getting it because when I was talking about on the ColecoVision, one of the tough games on there is Montezuma's Revenge because it's so touchy. The controller's not precise enough for the touchiness. And I seen Pete doing stuff on the Intellivision that I couldn't do on the ColecoVision. So my hope is the Intellivision controls better than what the ColecoVision did, and that would help in that game. So I got my fingers crossed that's true. And that's why I bought it because Montezuma Revenge is a favorite game of mine. So yeah, the Vectrix MIDI is I think really cool. And that's the thing is again, like I said, you didn't have to own it. It's just that did it have some cool games? I know Pete's got an OG Vectrix, but yeah, it had some cool games. So that's why I want to get. And the Neo Geo is another prime example. I never had the Neo Geo, the home unit, but I do like some games, so I want to own the unit now and some of the games. So that's there again, you can want to own something that you never really grew up on, because there are some good stuff with it. But that's like what's the other game? And AF2. Uh, them games are pretty cool. I watch Pete play them. I watched DJC play the shit out of them. So, all right, let's get moving on while I'm sitting there yabbing my ass off. Let me check this thing over here. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for that too. Yeah, there's a few things coming out. I'm excited for the M64. I'm excited for the Superstation. I'm excited for the Vectrix Mini. So yeah, I mean, there's some stuff coming down the pipeline that I'm really interested in. So let me get over to the screen. All right, so we played that version. Uh, oh, did I finish that up or did I just quit it? Anyways, I mean, you see me play it before, but that was Chaotic Grill. That's the champ game version of it. And then let's see what else we got. Okay, Gorf. We have Gorf Arcade, which is champ games. We have the original Gorf. So I'll play the original first. Or maybe I won't. Doesn't seem like this is a working ROM. Well, bummer deal. Well, there you go. There was a plan, but that plan didn't come to fruition. Yeah, that was CBS Electronic, but for some reason that's not a working um, ROM of it. So we'll show that. But I can't remember. Did I show Gorf Arcade? Yeah, I think I did. All right. So what else we got? We got oh, Cubert. Okay, so this is the original Cubert. not the. Oh, you know what it was? Okay, I get to go back. Sorry, my bad. It wasn't Gorf's fault. It was my fault. Okay, so the ROM does work. It's just my controller unhooked. Okay, there we go. Anyways, this is the original Gorf. Now, back when this came out, this was okay because we didn't really expect much out of Gorf on the 2600, so it played like the arcade game close enough where we knew what it was supposed to be. All right. That sucked. They got me. Wow. Harder than I remember. Might be because it moves fast too. But anyways, that's the original. Like I said, it reminds you of Gorf. Not the best looking game. And we get to the champ version of it. Looks a lot better. Has the shielding. Spacecrafts going across the top. Not moving herky-jerky or nothing. I knew I'd get him sooner or later. See, the reason I like this in the arcade is it was cool because it had, like, you know, to me, a couple of games in it. You know, it had a Galaxians, it had a Space Invaders, so that was kind of cool. To me, like, it was more bang for your buck on the quarters there. So into it. Uh, anyways, you had to shoot that core, is what I was going for. Oh, you can't hear me? Let's see what. Why you can't hear me? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, you saying you can't hear me at all, or hello? Hmm. Hello. Oh, okay. Because Pete said my mouth was moving, but he couldn't hear me saying anything. I just wanted to make sure. Oh, is the game that loud? Goddamn Atari games. That's the only thing about Atari, man. They're louder than shit. Yeah, and I got to remember because whenever I'm doing the playthroughs on Resident Evil, I have to turn it up because I have it down when I'm playing Atari and it's not as loud. And so then whenever I switch back over to playing Atari games, I forget to turn it down from turning it up for the Resident Evil games, and then it's louder than shit. All right, so we got that. All right, let's see. Let's go out of here. Tell me if this is better because I turned it down somewhat, quite a bit, though. All right, so we got that one. That's that. That was the Dwarf. All right, then Cubert is what we'll play next. This is the original Cubert. Hey Casey, how you doing? Good to see you. Did I miss anybody in here? Was you in here alone? I can't remember. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Oh, and how's it going, Michael? Oh shit, that was stupid. All right, I'm usually not too bad at Cubert. Oh, gonna say where the hell's that at? The 2600 version of Cubert's actually pretty easy. Oh, you don't hear the sound of the game? All right, let me try to knock that up a little bit. And I gotta wait. RetroArch's not responding. Well, I guess we're gonna close it. We'll just start back over. All right, let's see. Go back into Qbert. All right, tell me how that goes. Well, yeah, I don't have the sound set up to listen to what you guys hear. So to me, it sounds fine in my earbuds. I adjusted the volume, and so that's where I get into where I don't know what it sounds like on your end sometimes. Yeah, but how much louder? Well, you got to remember this. The setting I set it to is what you guys wanted the last time I played Atari. So I had that setting in place. But now you're saying it's too low. So that's, I mean, it must be whatever game I'm playing or what have you. It's different for each one. Yeah, because if you guys remember that one show, I had to adjust, I forget how many times, because people were saying it was too loud. Some people were saying it was too low. I don't know if when you maybe if I talk when I'm doing this, so you'll be able to tell better. Oh, geez, why does RetroArch keep not responding? Well, I mean, well, at least I mean you see me play it, so we got a good idea of that. So I'll do Ruby Q is a Champs game version of Qbert. Oops. I jumped the I pushed up by accident. Now, as you can see, it's like though the blocks aren't as you know amazing on the design on this because you know we're talking about the limitations of the 2600. But if you look at Qbert itself and then the characters around them, the discs and stuff like that, a lot of that's improved. The motion's really good too. The controls. Unless you did what I did earlier and go the wrong way. Because that's, I think, the major issues people have with Qbert is controlling it. Because some people will turn their controller sideways or what have you. I just keep it normal, but it's like once I get to playing, then the controls are like are pretty easy. But it's just like I said, it's just people's. I don't know if it's because of the 3D or whatever. It, you know, screws some people up. It's just like on you know some of the newer games. You know, some people can't play them because of the 3D effect. It drives them nuts. Or like first-person shooters. You know, there's some people like I can play first-person shooters all day. It doesn't bother me. It's like my VR. I use my VR. I can be on it for hours. There's other people that you know they get motion sickness after 15 minutes on it. Oh, I thought I jumped off, but I must not have. I always make it like alcohol. You know, I got a couple buddies that could drink like fish. I'm not one of them guys. I can't. Well, one, I don't really drink alcohol anymore, except for occasions or whatever. But I never was one that could drink a lot. I get me a couple beers, I'm fine. You get any more than a couple beers than me, I'm done. was never one to handle his alcohol good. That's how I used to take, because I have ADHD, and I had when I was probably in my 20s is when I first took it, but they gave me Adderall, and I used to take that. And if you don't know anything about Adderall, Adderall is basically prescription meth, is what it is. It's just a prescription form of meth. And like when I took it, it didn't get me hyper or anything like that. I was already hyper. It actually calmed me down, which makes no sense. And it would make me so I was what I called hyper focused. And but yeah, there was people that would take it and they couldn't handle it because it would keep them up all night or whatever. I never had any problems with that. I'd go to sleep normally, and never had issues with that. My thing is with it, I only took it for a few years because it's not something you want to take on a regular basis. And pretty much now I know how to cope with my ADHD than I did back then. Oh, this is one that keeps changing. What color is it supposed to be? Oh, shit. Okay, it's the tan color. Okay, well, anyways. But as you can see, it plays a lot better than what the other version did. Let's go down. Is that right? Where the hell did it pop up at? Okay. There we go. Hey, Cooler, how you doing? Well, I think Pete is so tough is because the Atari chip sucks. It's only capable of certain sounds or whatever. It's one of the loudest games to play. It's just it is what it is. I mean, my Intellivision isn't like that. My ColecoVision isn't like that. But Atari is a pain in the ass. And my 7800's like that because it uses the stupid ass 2600 sound chip. So, it is what it is. Okay, so we done that. Where are we at? Super Cobra. There's Parker's brother's version of Super Cobra, which is this. Again, back in the day, we'd have thought, oh, this isn't bad. Because back in the day, this wasn't bad. Was this exactly like Super Cobra? Nah, but it kind of was in the vicinity of it that we knew what it was. But yeah, look at this scrolling. The scrolling's murder. That's the thing about each system, too. Each system had their own little thing sometimes as well. It was just like I think even Michael pointed this out because we were talking about it. But I was used to the ColecoVision version of Zaxxon. That's what I grew up, playing. I never even really messed with the Atari and the other version. But I played recently. I played the 5200 version of Zaxxon, and man, that thing scrolls way better than the ColecoVision did. And at the time, I thought the ColecoVision was, pretty much the best, of them that generation. It was the best console to get, the Zaxxon on. But yeah, the 5200, though the ColecoVision, the graphic wise, I guess you could lean one way or the other, but for the scrolling, no competition. That 5200 can scroll like a son of a. That's the thing I learned a lot too. Was I never messed with the same reason that I didn't get the Intellivision is the same reason I didn't get the 5200 was I couldn't wrap my head around the freaking controller of the 5200. It had it was a non-centering joystick, which drove me nuts. I didn't like it. And I tried to do Pac-Man on my buddy's 5200. Man, I sucked at it and just pissed me off. So that's the only time I ever played the 5200 was over at his house, and that was only here and there. He's a buddy of mine, but he wasn't like one of my regular friends I hung around with a lot. So I didn't have a lot of opportunity to go over there. But yeah, I wasn't happy with it at all. And but being able to play the 5200 on newer controllers, I really grown a deeper respect for what that system was capable of. Because the graphics were good, and then what was really good was the sound chip of it. Because I like the 7800, but the 7800 has a shitty sound chip because they used the 2600 sound chip. But the 5200 had a better sound chip. Yeah, I don't know why the hell they didn't use that on the 7800. Well, I know what they were trying to do was use backwards compatibility, but that was just dumb. They needed to move on. There's even stuff that the 7800 can do better than the NES. Which I don't think a lot of people realize. Couldn't do sound better, though. Unless they did the sound chip in it, which they used for some games. Because they needed to. I always liked the scoring system on this because, back in the day, score wasn't such a big deal as it is now. But if you look at it, you're like, I've been playing for quite a bit and doing some stuff, and I've only got 2,400 points. Where, in some, in these days, day and age, like, man, you suck, man. That's not a good score. But back then it was. Like I said, his scores wasn't as important though. Look at the Pac-Man on the 2600. Its score is super low. You could be doing a lot in there and not getting a good score on it. Seems like I've been going forever and I only got down. Oh, crap. I got down so far. So far. Well, yeah, that's what was sad about it is they had to do something in cart to straighten up some. Atari really well, one Atari released the 7800 later than what they should have. They held on to it, and that was a mistake. And also the sound chip was a mistake. If they would have came out with a sound chip as good or better than the 5200 using the graphics capability, and if they would have aggressively tried to get third party, they could have really done something with that system. But Atari at that time was like Sega was towards the end. They were just bumbling, doing, putting out stuff that they shouldn't have been putting out. And well, like the 5200, they didn't really, they put it out and just because it didn't go gangbusters, they got rid of it. All they had to do with the 5200, in my opinion, of course, is my opinion, um, is if they would have got the 5200 and rectified the controller, because it's the controller was great for certain games, but for a lot of people like myself, it was a no go point for me getting a 5200. If they would have bought out a better joystick for it and using the same, using the same buttons and everything that they had, but it would have had a better joystick, I think they could have done better with the system. That joystick at that time sunk. There was a lot of people didn't like it. Which was a shame because, like I said, it was a good system. And then when they came out with the 7800, if they wouldn't have waited as long and they would have came out with a better sound chip, they wouldn't have had as much problems. But yeah, it wasn't just the sound chip that sunk the 7800; it was the length of time it took them to bring it out and the games that they came out with. Well, some would say I'm not, Pete. I would say my opinion isn't educated. Yeah, it's that's the thing is I don't know the ton of history of video games. I know what I know from picking it up here and there and studying some of it because I was always I loved video games from the time that I first got my RCA Studio 2 system. From that, the beginnings of that, which had buttons instead of any kind of control pads, and there was bowling and pong or whatever on there, and they were very basic games. But that was the start of me loving video games. I was amazed that I could control something on the television. To me, it was like basically making my own entertainment. Instead of watching a TV show that somebody made, I was making my own entertainment. I was my own producer. And then when I got the Atari 2600, I was again just amazed on what I could do on this system. And when they were bringing arcade games home, I was, fascinated because I loved arcade games. And now I could play them at home. And even though they weren't as good as the arcade, they were close enough that I knew what they were. And so I was enjoying them. And then when I got my ColecoVision, I was like, holy shit, this looks like Donkey Kong. And this looks like, Saxon and this and that, so every step took me further, more into the game. And, I've talked to Pete about this because one of Pete's favorite games is Adventure too. But it was like when I got Adventure, I didn't see a block with an arrow with ducks running around. I seen an adventure. I seen this game of what could be down the road, what kind of stuff that they could do with these video games. And they bring this fantasy world to life because one thing I was really into at that time was adventure games, text adventures, D&D, stuff like that. So having that type of game and having a format that could bring that game to life was cool as shit. That's why when I was into computers, I used to play EverQuest and Ashran's Call and Dark Ages of Camelot. Some World Warcraft, but these games that I could go on these journeys with other people and these adventures, and that's what was interesting to me, which was cool. I love my arcade games, but I also love the adventure type stuff. That's why, like on television, I was fascinated by AD&D and that. We didn't have anything like that on Atari. All we had on Atari was Sword Quest, which sucked ass. This whole Sword Quest series. So yeah, I mean, it was always where it was going to go. So as things progressed, and got better, and then you got into VR. VR was a whole new thing too. I was like, holy shit! I can go into the world that I used to, imagine. So even though I'm 60 years old now, it's still that kid in me that's fascinating, by this stuff. Everything from the retro games to the modern games. I love my retro games. I love going back and playing the things that I played before or new things they come up with for these games. Um, you know, it just keeps the youth going along, I guess, and so I enjoy that part of it as well. Yeah, social gamer. Hey, welcome. Thank you for coming. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we did. We used our imagination a lot back then. Yeah, it was like I said. It wasn't a square. It was a knight. It wasn't a arrow. It was a sword. The ducks were dragons. I mean, there was same thing with text adventures. We used our imagination on that. Yeah, it was just it's great that we have visuals to go along with it, but I still sometimes I still play adventure, love adventure. And like I said with Papa Pete, he likes adventure too, but we also both like Superman. Superman was simple, but it was great back then. I still love playing Superman. In any of these games, there's still a little bit of that magic in there, and that's what's good about it is it still gives me things to enjoy. Anyways, that was Super Cobra for the original one. And then we'll get into Super Cobra for Champ Games, which is a hell of a lot different. Oh, shit. I ran into that. Don't go by that. It was a. I keep forgetting. Now, that's what's weird on the champ game on this one. When you play the ROM, I don't know how it is on the actual system, but on the ROM, I can use two buttons. So I can actually fire missiles and bombs separately. But I push both of them at the same time with my thumb. Oh, shit. But yeah, this looks fantastic. See, that's the thing, too, with these older systems. What we all forget, too, is a lot of the reason games are made better now than they were then. It's not just the fact that people figured out how to squeeze a little bit more out of the system, but it was also back then, time was money. So a lot of publishers and that, they sucked. They didn't give the guys a lot of time to develop their games. Stuff had to go out real quick because they had to make money. So, they were pushed out. E.T. is a prime example, Pac-Man and that. These games were pushed out quickly to capitalize on money, being if it was based on an arcade game or a movie or what have you. And so a lot of times the developer didn't have the chance to really go through a lot. And you can see that with Pac-Man in the sense that just a little bit later come Miss Pac-Man, which they spent more time on, and Miss Pac-Man was a hell of a lot better than Pac-Man was. Oh shit, the guy came and popped my ass right away. Get the hell out of my way there, bitches. I like the sounds they're making. Do 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 do. They're coming at you. But as you can see, it's a lot way better looking game than the original Super Cobra. And then we get to Tutankhamun, or Tutankhamun, or Tutankhamun. What is the hell? How do you say that? Tutankhamun? Tutankhamun? Whatever. I always called it Tutankhamun, but I know it's not that. That didn't take long. Yeah, and this wasn't a pretty good game back in the day. Oh. Oh, hell. I moved the wrong way. Anyways, that's good enough. See how it is, well, how it looks, how it plays. Oh, thanks, Social Gamer. I appreciate it. Any likes and subscribes are always appreciated. It helps channel grow a little bit, get me out there. I can't believe I was one of your recommendations, though. I appreciate that. Now, here's the new improved version of Champ Games, which, as you're going to see, is a hell lot better. Now, they always, with Tutankhamun, is the game only shoots in one direction, left or right. Well, two directions, left or right. Doesn't shoot up and down. So there's a little bit more to it. And you know, me and Jeff was talking about this. That's a lot of reason why people don't care for the game. But that's what makes the game what it is it makes it a little challenging because you gotta think about it, how you approach this stuff besides just firing at stuff. If you could just fire up and you could sit there and do this thing all day. But not being able to fire up and down is a little bit of a caveat to getting through these mazes. Like, okay, see, he just came after me, which sucks. But I did get the key, so I can just go down here and open this up. Now, I'm going to warn you, I'm not that great at this game anyways, but... Huh. This is one game I used to love playing in the arcade. There's a lot of games in the arcade I love playing. I just wasn't always the best at. But that was never the big point of being in the arcade was just playing games that were fun. Oh. Okay, that sucked. I'll play that one more time. As you can see, that's my score up above it. Not that much better, but. Hey, Hobbs, how's it going? Good to see you. Good. Run, you son of a bitch. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I moved down by mistake. Oh, shit. So I already grabbed that. Not sure why I can't grab that key. I don't know if I have to grab this thing first. Huh? Ah, that didn't work. Thought I'd get down there quick enough to trip him up, but. Here we go. Oh. Do I have a key? Okay, that was why I couldn't grab the other key. I gotta get it from the bottom. Oh, get through there. Oh no, I gotta get that key now. Oh, you son of a bitch. I forgot about this room. All right, there you go. I mean, not amazing, but I'll take it. It is better in Fortnite. I was telling some people before, I used to play Fortnite, and I didn't mind the game, but what I hated was building. Man, I hated building shit. I wasn't real fast at it. These people are building goddamn houses and skyscrapers. Yeah, well, I was sitting there and I'm trying to build something and I mess it up and get killed while I was building. And all right, now this is the demo. I'll be playing. Well, first I'll be playing the original Saxon, which I never really messed around with a lot on the Atari because I played the ColecoVision version all the time. And I was watching Michael, Retro Gamer 1977. He was playing it. And I kind of was like, you know what? This game isn't really that bad. I mean, it doesn't look like Saxon, but the play of it's not really as bad as I was looking at it because I so much wanted to look like Saxon just because it didn't. So that makes me wonder if the Intellivision version, which is a decent game as well, because you know, like I said, I looked at it, it was, oh, well, it doesn't look like a ColecoVision and kind of brushed it off. But if it play, I would imagine it plays like this because it looks somewhat like this one. You know, I mean, better. But I'm like, well, you know what? I mean, it's not, oh, shit. It's not, you know, the original Saxon by any stretch of imagination. But you know what? Hey, it suffices. And even though it doesn't have the same, you know, perspective, it's still, you know, the game at heart, I guess. Not the best way to put it. That sucked. Well, I guess that's done. Yeah, I didn't like that on the fly building shit either. All right, so I guess that's it. I got my ass killed. Now this is the demo version of Champ Games Saxon. Like I said, I've seen a couple people play it. I think Dimex Retro Gamer Pierre played it. I know Papa Pete was playing it last night, and which he actually did really good on it. Yeah, that's a good point, Pete. Yeah, it's not that they're bad games; they're just bad representations of what we were accustomed to. But yeah, like I said, I was watching Retro Gamer, and then like this is the first time I really played, and I'm like, oh, it's not really that bad. You know, it's not like I said, it's not the Zaxxon we remember, but it's a good game on its own. And I think we said that about Pac-Man. If Pac-Man would have been labeled a different game when it came out in Atari 2600, I don't think we all would have been so hard on it because I actually like playing Pac-Man now. It's not a bad game. Not, you know, it's not Pac-Man, but let's do standard, original. Oh shit, fuel's low. Ain't doing me no good out here in space. Oh man, I shot the satellite a couple times, but I didn't take it out. Man, you better get my ass over to land so I can. No shit. I ran out of fuel. I don't know how it is on the Intellivision here. I never played the Intellivision version of it. I just said the 2600 version for what it is isn't too bad. I thought it looked kind of like the Intellivision, so I didn't know if it plays like the Intellivision version or what. Oh shit! That thing shot me. Son of a bitch shot me. Oh shit! Son of a bitch! Uh oh! Damn it! Not getting a good aim on the rocket. Oh, that was it. Son of a bitch! And then there's. Sorry, my nose is itchy. Actually, my nose is always itchy when I get on streaming. I can sit here all day, my nose doesn't itch until I stream. As you can see, I got that ME is me. Let's do one thing of super. That's what's cool too, is they got, not only do they have the Saxon, but they have Super Saxon, and with the different equipment in it, which is kind of cool. I'd have just been happy with a Saxon game. Uh oh. Oh, phew, made it. Oh, son of a bitch, moved too close to the side over there. Oh, hell. Thought I was up high enough. Oh, damn it. Didn't get up high enough. Oh, I went too high. Bummer. There you go. Hey, Catman 2D, good to see you. Thank you for coming in. It doesn't seem like it's any faster, really, the scrolling speed. I mean, if it is, it's not as noticeable to me. It seems the same as the regular Saxon. No, I haven't noticed that, Pete. But I've got what the hell my shit. I forget what my monitors are called. They're not ISOs. They're I mean ISP monitors. They're Is it TA or TF or something like that? So sometimes them ones have different with burn-in and stuff like that. Ladybug Arcade's good. I didn't get the regular Ladybugs because I got the Ladybug Arcade. So, but that one's a good one. All right, let's. But yeah, what did I pick up since then? I also got. I think I played. I can't remember where I played down to, but yeah, I've also picked up Wizard of War, Turbo, Zookeeper, the Ruby Q. Yeah, I had the robot. Oh, Quicks. I think I picked up Robot War. I got now. This Spiders Arcade is the um, demo. I didn't. I haven't bought Spiders Arcade. I didn't know what it was until I seen. Who the hell was playing it? Ah, crap! I can't remember who was playing it now. I was watching somebody and they were playing Spiders Arcade, and I'm interested in it now. So I'll buy the. Because that's the thing is anybody out there, if you're an Atari 2600 person, if you and especially you can do this either if you have the your original still or you have the 2600 plus 7800 plus. Um, you can go to Champ Games and you can buy these, or you can get the ROMs. Like right now, I'm playing on emulation, so I've got the ROMs for them. I don't know if the sale's still going on. I think it is. But they're like $12, $8 to $12 for these ROMs. Normally they're a couple bucks more. Like I think it's like 15 something normally on the high end. Um, but or you get if you buy them too, if I'm not mistaken, and somebody will correct me, but I think like if you buy the carts, you can also get it where you get the ROMs. I don't know if it comes with the cart or you get them cheaper if you buy the cart. Um, but these I bought the ROMs right now, but I'm gonna buy the carts for them because I want to play them on my 7800 plus. And they're worth it. I mean, these, like I said, they're not. There's not a bad game in the lot. Might not be a game that you'd like as much as some of the other ones, but they all play good. And that's the one thing too is the controls on these things are great. Like that Zaxxon, it's smooth, it's easy. When I was playing Chaotic Grill, like I said, for a burger time, it's not the best burger looking burger time out there, but man, does the control sweet on it. It's I can make quick movements on it that I have not been able to make on other consoles. It's really smooth. And it's like that also on any of these games. They control really well. They've got the controls really good on a lot of these. But yeah, I would check out Champ Games, and like I said, you can either get the ROMs or the carts. And this ain't a commercial. I'm not getting paid for this. They didn't give me these games. I bought every one of them. But I bought them because I like them. They're just it's just a great system. I mean, a great developer. They just keep popping out really good games. And that's why like that Spiders Arcade and that I didn't know what that was, but there's also some other originals that I've seen played that I want to get into. So yeah, they're just really good at them. Yeah, they're real good at the controls here, no doubt. But if you're looking for them type of games, I would go check them out definitely. All right, let me try. Okay, I'll do Wizard of War. I love Wizard of War. I used to play this in the arcade a lot. Um, this there was a. I think I had. Did I have a version? I thought I had I tried a version of this earlier version, and I don't know what I did with it. But I had the original 2600 version of it. Just trust me, it sucks. It's not really that good. Oh, shit. I always got to remember to pay attention to the damn radar on this. Another thing on this, too, you have to always pay attention to is your firing, because you never want to cut yourself short where you have a fire that's a shot that's still going and then something sneaks up on your ass. Oh, shit. I went to look at the radar to see where he's at, and he got me. That's where he was at. He was coming to get me. There we go. Once in a while, you'll have the Wizard of War come out. I don't know what brings him out specifically, but I know after shooting that dude, sometimes he comes out. Oh, crap. I was trying to be sneaky, come through there and shoot him, but then it didn't work out as well as I planned. Seeing where they were at, and I still missed them. Back here, you little red demon. Double score. Hey, Chris, was that you I was watching play Spider's Arcade? I can't remember. I don't know if it was Pierre or it was you or... Ah. I got... Oh, shit. Almost got me. Oh, hell no. I seen you coming up behind me, you little bastard. Ah. Damn it. He escaped. Ooh, nasty bastard. Oh, crap. Wasn't paying attention. There he is. Oh, he went through that. Oh, crap. He escaped too. Damn it. That might have been where I seen it appear. I couldn't remember who I seen. I watch so many damn channels anymore. It's always hard to tell who does what. Man, I love that game. That's not bad. I'll take that. Got the Dungeon 6, 27,000. I haven't. Yeah, I played this version. I think once. I haven't really played a lot of it. A lot of these I just played to kind of get a feel of them. When I get new games and play them here, I kind of want it to be like my first time, basically. So I try not to play too much of them. You know, it's because it's like doing the Resident Evil streams. I'm playing games I never really played. That way, we're going through it at the same time. Excuse me, had a cough. Yeah, that'd be cool to play with some with Josh. A lot of them are two players. Let's see, what time is it? Get close. All right, well, let's get into else I got today. Okay, let's see. Oh, Zookeeper. That was a good one. That's a good game of Zookeeper too. Oh shit. Okay. I was getting close to somebody breaking loose. Oh, to get around here. These goddamn zoo animals. Now this part of it, oh shit, and I just fell down. This part of it sucks. Well, not that it sucks. I suck playing it. Like that. I jumped up when I shouldn't have. Oh. Uh. Oh no, that was terrible. I got jumpy. Ugh. I knew I was going to die again. This is usually where I bite it at, too. No, there isn't. Play one more on this. What is that, beer? I don't know if they give you beer so you can you get drunk enough you feel like fighting the animals. Oh, yeah, sneaky bastard. Uh-oh. Ran into a snake. Back in your cage with the rest of them. Christ. Ugh. Oh, hell. Goddamn coconut. Oh, hell. God damn it. Oh, shit. I could have made it up there and I messed up. Oh, no. What's sick to twisted a demented bastard was coconuts in a game like this. This is ridiculous. Alrighty, well, let's see. I think no. Let me put this here. Didn't mean to do that. I was trying to do something different, but apparently it's not working. All right. Well, we'll just go down to me. All right. Then we'll bring that over. Yeah, I have a screen that it apparently doesn't work right now. It was working before. I had to figure it out. Anyways, I that was that finished up. Well, I think that was almost all the champ games. But we'll get back in. We'll play them occasionally and that. But there's something way more Atari 2600. Plus, you got to remember, it's also Atari 2600, the 5200, and the 7800. So we got a lot Atari Lynx, Atari Jaguar. We got a lot of Atari to play. So, and then once in a while we'll occasionally play a ColecoVision game or what have you. So, oh, thanks, Chris. Yeah, I actually like that. It came out pretty nice. That's my buddy AI Gemini made that. Because like I said, I ain't got really the skill set for that kind of shit. If you relied on my skills, I'd have everything would be a black background. That would be all I could put out there. Anyways, let's see. We'll get into me. Pop up the schedule. That's the schedule that I'm going on right now. The only difference is well, that's the other thing with with AI. If you notice with certain stuff, it, it it gives a kind of a loose representation of the games. So that's where you get into that at. But yeah, this is my schedule. Most times it's going to be this on Tari on Sunday, and then on Thursday I'll do a game playthrough. Right now, I'm playing Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. I just started that up last week. So if you're interested in that, watching me play that, that'll be on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Tomorrow, I'm still playing Resident Evil 4 remake playthrough. That is something I've started weeks ago. I'm at the end. I'm not sure if it's going to be another stream or it's going to be um, uh, I don't know if it's one more stream or two more streams. I'm hoping it's one more, but it could be two more because you know if you played Resident Evil, you know how that goes. But I beat all the bosses except the last one. I'm on chapter 15. Chapter 16 is the last chapter. I don't remember if there's a lot to go through 16 to get to the boss, or if I go through 15 and then 16 starts in the boss. I can't remember how that goes. Anyways, I will be playing that until I'm finished with it. So so tomorrow is either the last day or next week will be the last day. And then, like I said, I just began Biohazard 7. That'll be a few weeks of that playing that. But that's my schedule, anyways. Sunday is Atari night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then Thursday 8 Eastern Standard Time, and that'll be the playthrough of Resident Evil Biohazard. But Sunday night is always Atari night. Like I said, we might throw something in there like a ColecoVision here and that, but it would predominantly be Atari, being at the Atari 2600, 5200, 7800, Lynx, what have you. We'll be playing mostly Atari. Occasionally I might throw in something else, like I might play a Sega game or something like that. But yeah, it just know that it's always usually Atari night. And then that's it. That's right now. That's basically my schedule. That's what I do. I hope you like and subscribe. Occasionally check out my channel. I do shorts and videos up there, so you can check them out. I don't know how many videos I have now. A couple hundred, I think. I got videos from what I've done, different playthroughs, different things. Um, uh, I just started a few months ago, so I'm just getting into this thing and learning the ins and outs and what to do, what have you. But in the comments too for the thing, you can leave like maybe a game you want me to play or whatever. I'll check that out. We'll play that at one of the nights because it's. Other than that, I'm always coming up with the game, so it's a lot easier if people are giving me suggestions. Um, the also afterwards here, after I'm done, I have a video for you guys to look at. It's a video of people that I watched your channels. If you heard me earlier in that talking about retro games and that, Papa Pete, he's the guy that got me into meeting everybody else. Him and Jeff, Go Game Go. So I met them guys a few years ago. Been watching their channels or whatever, and then I knew like some of the guys that were in here are streamers as well. They stream. They just started up recently, being like Dimex Retro Gamer or Famous and Crispy. They just started recently. Megan, we met. I forget how the hell I met Megan. I met Megan in somebody's room. I know that. But we met Megan a month or two ago. It's probably been about 2 months, I think, at least. I'm not good at time, but I'm thinking it's that. And so I met her, and then met Derek through her, and so everybody meets everybody through these different channels and that. So these are other retro gamers being in television. Some of them play Atari. Some of them play TurboGrafx. Some of them play newer systems as the Switch. Jeff plays the Switch, Switch 2. One of the guys that it's going to be on there is Super Mega Graphics 64. He has anything up to a PS5 Pro, which he plays. Like I said, I played Resident Evils. I've been playing the newer ones, not the brand new ones, but newer ones, and I play them on the PC. So I do some PC gameplay. Sometimes I do VR, so they might see a video or we pop on doing a VR stream or whatever. So there's a mixture of everything on here. If you like retro games, somebody plays them on here somewhere. Being as Segas or Nintendos or what have you, Ataris and television, ColecoVisions and that. So these people that I have on this video are people that I watch, I subscribe to, I have alerts to. I watch them when they come on. I hope you do the same. I hope you check them out, give them a fair chance. Like I said, they're a good bunch of people. I'm sure you'll probably feel the same way. That's the thing is the retro community is a community. It's a group of us that love the same thing, get together and and talk about our games and play our games. And it feels like this term's probably thrown around a lot, but it feels like a big family. You get along with everybody, and they're a pretty bunch of good dudes. They help you out in different things, while you're doing these channels, while you're doing these shows. Uh, Famous and Crispy, good guy. He's been on I don't know how many shows. People have him on there. He's a good dude. He's real knowledgeable in that, so he's always good to have on. And that's with guys like Papa Pete, you need in television. Papa Pete knows everything about in television. Switch 2, Jeff, Go Game Goes, good for that. Here loves Dimex Retro Gamer. He loves different systems and knows quite a bit about the retro systems that there's stuff he can tell you. Megan knows a lot about a lot of stuff. Even though she's not good at understanding that Michael Bay makes good Transformer movies, other than that, she knows a lot of stuff. So you can always watch her and her buddy Derek on their podcast, and they discuss different things, pop culture, video games, what have you. So yeah, there's different people, different things. So anyways, I appreciate everybody that was here. Let me thank everybody in the chat. I always like to appreciate everybody that comes by, because that's the thing is you can lurk. That's cool with me. I'm glad you're watching that, but also come in the chat, man. And add into the conversation. We're not doing any heavy lifting around here. We're just talking video games and that. So you're more welcome to join us. Chris was in here. I think Chris was first. Megatron, who I was talking about, Megatron Plays. Dimex Retro Gamer, and that's Pierre. Sometimes you'll hear me call him Pierre, because Pierre is his name, so that's what I call him. Famous of Crispy is Chris. Junebug, good to see you, Junebug. Always glad to see Junebug. I know she's probably still hanging around in here. Jeff, Go Game Go. That's who I mentioned, likes the Switch and that. CC Mental, that's his wife. It's always good to have her in here. Let's see who else we got. Go through this list, and hopefully I don't miss anybody. I hate when I miss somebody. Always want to thank everybody. Let's see. Okay, we get in here. People. Oh, Lone came in. Always good. Lone, somebody I've known for a while now, and I always say Lone is my IT guy. Lone Scone, because Lone knows a crap load about video games I don't. So it's always good to have Lone in. Papa Pete, who I was talking about earlier. Like I said, good old Papa Pete was in here. Always good to have Papa Pete. Let's see. Get in here. And I know we had Cooler came in here. I know he's in here somewhere. Get to him on the list. And we had a couple of new people, which I appreciate always. Get down. Oh, and Television Gamer, that's Casey. Television Gamer has a show on. I've been doing this Monday, and on opposite of me is Casey in Television Gamer. He does a show, which, like I said, I'm only going to be doing one or two more. And but Casey does all things in television. He does a horse racing show and all that too. You can get in there and get in. They do that horse racing on the television, and you can pick a horse and you can bet on it and stuff like that. And, and he does things as well involved in the television. Retro Gamer 1977. I knew he was in here too. That's Michael. Michael's a good dude. Also fixes on system. He has right now he's really been in the 5200, but he also big into the ColecoVision and television and stuff like that. He's just a retro gamer, just like the rest of us, but he's a good dude to check out once in a while. Let's check out Retro Gamer 1977. Let's see. We get down here. We got Megan, Michael. Saviter was in here, and Saviter's always a good dude. Saviter always stops by. Saviter's a big Sega fan, but he's another guy that I've known for quite a while now through Papa Pete. He comes here, which is always good. There's Cooler. Cooler's a good guy. He's been coming in here for a while. I like having Cooler in here. I always appreciate when he stops by. Let's see. Social Gamer. It's one of the newer guys. Appreciate Social Gamer coming in here. He stopped in and also he subbed. So which, like I said, if you would like, subscribe and hit the alerts. I appreciate that. Always helps out. Obs was in here. Always good to see Obs. Obs is somebody I've met through different channels and that he goes to. Let's see. I hope I didn't miss anybody else. I keep thinking there's somebody else. If I missed somebody, I duly apologize. Yeah, I think that's it. Hit everybody. Oh yeah, Cafe Man. I knew there was somebody else. Appreciate him coming in here. First time he's been in. I appreciate him. Came in and contributed to chat, which is always appreciated and encouraged if you can. So I think yeah, we're down to the end here, but that's everybody. Always want to throw my appreciation out. Means a lot. I didn't expect people to watch me play games. I knew some of the people that I was friends with would maybe stop in and that, but it's always great that other people stop by. I can't thank everybody enough. I mean that's cool as hell that I can play games and you guys can come watch me and then we can talk about them. How good is that? Anyways, here's that video I was telling you about. This is something I put together. Shows off my friends here that I watch and gives you a chance to learn about all the other channels and you go take a look at them and like and subscribe if you like them and hit the alerts. But like I said, I'm pretty sure within the bunch there's some people you'll like. I like everybody's. Anyways, I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, and I'll see you Monday at 8 Eastern Time if you want to watch me play Resident Evil 4 Remake. Thank you very much. Have a good night.